Greetings, traveler. Our first free choice in Skyrim almost certainly wasn't really ours. Have you ever wondered why after Helgen we almost automatically follow this exact route? And the most interesting part is that Bethesda doesn't do this through one obvious hint. It does it through psychological signals and very precise world design. Things most players never notice for years, but our brain was reading from the very beginning. Enjoy watching. The first point is trust. From the very beginning, Bethesda puts our main character into a harsh situation. The kind of situation that often brings people together in real life. And you can see this directly in the dialogue.
We're all brothers and sisters in binds now, thief.
And this is the first thing that creates this kind of connection with an NPC. Everything that happens shortly after only strengthens it. I'm talking about things like the unfair sentence for our character. The execution of people we just became loosely connected to. And the fact that we have only just arrived and still don't fully understand what is happening. After Alduin attacks Helgen, Ralof could have just left us behind. Seriously, we mean absolutely nothing to him. But no, he helps us instead, and that makes him stick in our mind even more. It's also worth noting that Hadvar, in his own way, shows loyalty to our character too.
By your orders, Captain. I'm sorry. At least you'll die here, in your homeland. Follow the captain, prisoner.
Some people might say he did nothing at first, but in his position, most people probably wouldn't have done anything either. There wasn't really a way to act, and there would have been consequences for him as well. But after the destruction begins, he saves a child, then helps us, so he's not really the dog some people make the Imperials out to be. But yes, he is more closed off than Ralof. Either way, no matter who you choose, you go through the escape from Helgen with this NPC, covering each other's backs, like brothers in arms. And when you get out of the cave, you hear an invitation to visit Riverwood because Ralof has his sister Gyrdir there, and Hadvar has his uncle Alvar. And again, this affects our trust in that NPC. This works especially well with Ralof, because by that point you already knew he was from Riverwood.
Ralof of Riverwood.
And in general, just imagine the situation. You find yourself in a completely unfamiliar place. A different province, a different everything. Then this intense chain of events happens and it is brutally directed at you. But next to you, there is already a person you have been through quite a lot with, at least by real life standards. So who wouldn't follow that same Ralof to Riverwood? And this is where the second very important point comes in, level design, which reinforces all of this. As soon as you leave the cave, you see these beautiful Skyrim landscapes right in front of you, tall snowy mountains, clouds, and a lake in the distance. And pay attention to the trees. They are placed in a kind of curved shape, which already starts guiding you along a certain route. On top of that, if you go left, you don't really see anything interesting enough to pull you in that direction. And the same goes for the right side. So the path and basically everything around us is arranged in a way that makes you very likely to follow this exact route to Riverwood. And after you first see Bleak Falls Barrow and start walking down, notice how the game gives us a small visual pause. But even that pause is filled by your companion starting to talk to you at that exact moment.
You know, you should go to Windhelm and join the fight to free Skyrim. You've seen the true face of the Empire here today. If anyone will know what the coming of the dragon means, it's Ulfric.
So it doesn't work separately. It's not just here's a beautiful road, and it's not just here's an NPC we trust. The game stitches these things together. You've probably noticed this yourself. No matter how many times you play Skyrim, and no matter how much you forget about Hadvar and Ralof, when you reach the point in the Civil War questline where you see them again, your brain still picks them out much more strongly than most other characters. It's something similar to Serana, where you, as a person, first connect emotionally. Yes, it's a game, and of course it doesn't work as strongly as it would in real life, but the same mechanisms are being used. As for Bleak Falls Barrow, even if you don't consciously keep focusing on it along the road, it still works subconsciously. Because this object is in your field of view, and honestly, it is hard not to notice. And Ralof or Hadvar, as people we already trust, share their childhood memories about it, which puts even more focus on Bleak Falls Barrow so that you visually register it. And at the same time, it reinforces the NPCs themselves once again.
See that ruin up there? Bleak Falls Barrow. I never understood how my sister could stand living in the shadow of that place. I guess you get used to it.
Today, for me, the first reason I go there on a new playthrough is saving time. I don't want to go from Farengar to the Barrow, then from the Barrow back to Farengar. But the second reason is deeper. Every time we start a new game, that Barrow gets planted deeper and deeper in our brain. It's kind of like Meridia's beacon, just less loud in both meanings of the word. Especially when we come to Whiterun right after Bleakfall's Barrow, and Farengar says,
Ah, the Dragonstone of Bleakfall's Barrow. You already found it. You are cut from a different cloth than the usual brutes the Jarl foists on me.
and you immediately think, okay, I'm actually smart. Even though it feels like an accident that you found the Dragonstone, in reality, it is not really an accident. It was kinda supposed to happen this way. If you truly enjoy my Elder Scrolls content, don't just pass by. Subscribe to the channel, because more than 90% just move on. And if you're ready to take a step fewer than 1% are willing to take and get some extra bonuses too, become a channel sponsor. That kind of support helps me keep growing the channel steadily. Thank you, but here a question may come up. Why exactly Riverwood to Whiterun? Because technically Falkreath is closer to Helgen. Yes, it's not as big as Whiterun, but if the developers wanted us to go there, they could have easily made it feel a little stronger, architecturally. But here's the thing, in my opinion, if you imagine starting the game near the border, then when you open the world map, you feel a certain pressure and limitation in your freedom. But when you start closer to the center of the map, it gives you a real sense of choice. And this matters because after Riverwood, the game is no longer just leading you through a narrow path. It starts opening up the space. But let's get back to the route. As we keep going, Bleakfall's Barrow starts hiding behind the trees. But Bethesda once again puts the focus on the landscapes and on one key element, the 3 Guardian Stones. Then there's another turn, and here, the game guides us much more firmly. Cliffs run along the road, and on the left side, there's water moving in the same direction as you. And let's be honest, on a first playthrough, most people probably won't jump into it, but the game still gives you a choice. In front of us, there are trees and cliffs that stop us from clearly seeing the path ahead. This slightly spreads out our attention, and we start noticing what is happening on the sides. More specifically, we have the main road going down, and subconsciously this feels like the easier path because it's downhill, and it's the main, clearly visible road. And then there's the path on the right, which doesn't stand out as much. Visually, the climb feels like something harder, like a deviation from the main route, and most importantly, your companion is running straight to Riverwood, which of course also focuses your attention on the priority of getting to the settlement. So it's no surprise if you walked right past that path, or didn't even pay attention to it. That's exactly how it was for me. Then as you keep walking, there isn't really anything to stare at, examine, or listen to from your companion, and that's when we get 2 wolves to fight. And that's basically how the road to Riverwood works. So Skyrim doesn't always give us complete freedom, but it is very good at making a direction the game has already prepared feel like your own decision. And the first road to Riverwood is probably the cleanest example of that trick. That's it for today. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like and subscribe. And if you want to support the channel even more, you can become a sponsor. It really helps me keep making content like this. See you in the next videos.